You ever hear about someone making a massive six-figure salary and think, wow, they must have it made? Well, what if I told you a huge number of them are completely broke? It sounds totally backward, right? But it's one of the most common and honestly one of the most dangerous financial traps out there today. So today, we're going to tear this whole illusion apart, piece by piece.
All right, let's just start with a number that should make you sit up and pay attention. 40%. A recent study from Goldman Sachs found that a staggering 40% of people who earn over $300,000 a year say they are living paycheck to paycheck. No, you heard that right. We're talking about the top earners in the country, and almost half of them are just one bad month away from real financial trouble.
And that just begs the question, right? How on earth is this possible? How can you have that much money coming in the door and have so little to show for it in terms of actual security? You know, the answer isn't simple, and it has huge implications for every single one of us trying to build real, lasting wealth. Okay, so let's really dive into this whole thing. We're going to call it the six-figure illusion. And let me be really clear here. This is not about shaming anyone for how they spend their money. It's about pulling back the curtain and understanding the powerful forces, both psychological and economic, that have created a system where a high income doesn't just automatically make you wealthy. In fact, for a lot of people, it's the very thing that's holding them back.
You know, there's actually a name for the folks caught in this exact situation. They're called Henrys. It's an acronym, and it stands for High Earners Not Rich Yet. And these are your doctors, your lawyers, your big-shot tech professionals, people making really, really good money, but who are just failing to build any serious wealth. They've got the income statement, for sure, but their balance sheet is empty. They are, for all intents and purposes, running on a very, very expensive hamster wheel.
So what's this hamster wheel actually made of? Well, the main gear in this whole machine is a phenomenon that has a name: the lifestyle creep trap. And this isn't some kind of moral failure. It's a totally predictable pattern, and it's driven by some really powerful and very human instincts that are hard to fight.
So lifestyle creep, you might also hear it called lifestyle inflation, is simply when your spending just naturally expands to meet your rising income. Think about it. You get that big promotion, that big raise, but instead of all that extra cash going into investments, it just kind of gets absorbed. Maybe it's a slightly nicer apartment in a better neighborhood, or you start eating out at fancier restaurants more often. Yesterday's special treat becomes today's normal, and before you know it, your much bigger paycheck is stretched just as thin as your old one ever was.
Now, there are two big psychological reasons this happens to us. First, there's something called hedonic adaptation. This is just our brain's incredible ability to get used to good things fast. That amazing new car felt like a dream for the first month, right? And now, well, now it's just your car. The thrill is gone. The second piece is social comparison. When your income goes up, you often find yourself hanging out in a new social circle. And your new friends, your new neighbors, they drive luxury cars, they take incredible vacations. And that creates this powerful and often totally subconscious pressure to keep up, just to feel like you fit in.
But listen, it's not all in our heads. There's a real, powerful economic force at play here, and Goldman Sachs gave it a name: the financial vortex. This is basically a cycle where the costs of the big things in life, we're talking housing, healthcare, childcare, college tuition, are all rising way, way faster than our paychecks are, so all these essential costs are fighting for every single dollar you earn, which makes it incredibly difficult to juggle what you need today with what you need to be saving for tomorrow. And what's really fascinating here is seeing how this financial vortex hits different generations. It's not an equal opportunity problem, not by a long shot. I mean, just look at the data. It's a massive burden for younger generations who are trying to get their footing. 75% of millennials, 72% of Gen Z, they feel like they're being held back by these rising costs. They're trying to build a financial foundation at a time when the price of everything is just skyrocketing, which makes it harder than ever to actually get ahead. So, what's the end result of all this? A life that's just built on one perpetual payment after another. And there's no better example of this than the car. So many high earners get trapped on this luxury car leasing merry-go-round. They can afford the monthly payment, no problem, so they lease a brand new high-end car every 2 or 3 years. But here's the thing, that payment never goes away. They are essentially renting a status symbol, forever, without ever building a single dollar of equity.
Okay, so if that high-income, high-spending lifestyle is just a trap, what's the other path? How do people build real wealth? Well, it turns out the secrets of the truly wealthy have almost nothing to do with showing off how much money you make.
This quote right here from Thomas J. Stanley, the author of the legendary book The Millionaire Next Door, just nails it. Stanley's research basically proved that building wealth is a lot more about playing great defense than having a great offense. It's way less about how much you earn, and so much more about how much you actually keep and how you manage your lifestyle.
The whole mindset that drives this is something called stealth wealth. It's a very conscious decision to value financial freedom and security way more than the social status that money can buy you. It's about focusing on being rich, not just acting rich. People who practice stealth wealth get it. The goal isn't to impress the neighbors. The goal is to build a life where you, and only you, are in control of your time and your choices.
And this table right here just lays out the two paths so perfectly. I mean, look at this. On the left, you've got the status seekers. Their primary goal is just to look rich. So they're leasing brand new luxury cars, they're barely saving anything, they're spending all their money on stuff that loses value, and you better believe they're showing it all off on social media. But then on the right, you have the wealth builders. Their goal is actual freedom. They're driving modest cars that are paid off, they're saving a huge chunk of their income, and they are laser focused on one thing: buying assets that are going to grow in value over time.
And look, if you need just one single piece of data to prove how real this difference is, this is it. 92%. In a massive study of self-made millionaires, a whopping 92% of them do not drive a luxury car. Think about that. They see a car as a tool, something to get you from point A to point B, not as a billboard for their net worth. The car you drive is honestly one of the biggest clues that separates the real rich from the fake rich.
You see, it all boils down to a fundamental choice you have to make with your money. Are you going to buy depreciating assets or appreciating assets? Depreciating assets, like a brand new car or the latest tech, they lose value the moment you buy them. And they often come with ongoing payments, like insurance and upkeep. But appreciating assets, like index funds or real estate or a business, they have the potential to grow in value and even pay you over time. Wealth builders just instinctively ask themselves, why would I spend my money on something that's going to cost me more money when I could put it into something that's going to make me more money? So let's get practical. Let's talk about how you can actually escape this trap and start building a life of real, sustainable financial freedom. It all comes down to a deliberate shift in your thinking and taking a few key strategic actions.
Here's a clear path forward, okay? Step 1, calculate your net worth. Forget your income for a second. Your net worth, what you own minus what you owe, is the only score that really matters in the game of wealth. Step 2, automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from your paycheck directly into your investment accounts. It's simple. You can't spend money you never even see. Step 3, make every big purchase pass one simple test. Before you buy, ask yourself, is this going to build my net worth or destroy it? And finally, step 4, redefine what normal looks like to you. If your current social circle is just a constant source of pressure to spend, maybe it's time to find the new one. Find communities that celebrate financial independence, not just a high salary.
Because ultimately, it really just comes down to this one powerful trade-off. All the money you spend trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to signal your status, trying to fit in with that high-spending crowd, that is the exact same money that could be buying your financial freedom, one share of an index fund at a time. The real cost of fitting in is your future.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. Take a good, hard, honest look at your own financial life. Are the choices you're making every day building a solid foundation of real, durable wealth that will give you security and freedom? Or are they just building a fragile and frankly expensive appearance of it? The choice, as always, is yours.